Hey guys, how's it going? Celtic Reviews, and today I'm talking about my favorite film ever made, Scarface. Um, I'm talking about the long history with this film, and just telling you guys why I love this film as much as I do. Showing clips. And keep in mind, there's gonna be some spoilers. There's gonna be mainly spoilers at the end at the end of the video. I will tell you guys when to click off when I show that clip. But yeah, it's mainly talking about why I love this film so much and my history with it, and just basically talk about, why I think this film is just amazing. So, as a kid growing up, my mom had a ton of VHS tapes. I mean, she had a collection. So, I used to watch all her tapes from, Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, The Thing, Say Anything, stuff like that. One day, when I was 10 years old, I found the Scarface VHS. Now, my mom told me I couldn't watch it. That didn't really last long, as that day when she left to go to the store, I watched it. Thank God she was away for close to 3 hours, because that would have been bad if she would have walked into me watching it. Now, even at 10 years old, I understood why I love this movie so much. The movie was not only was it dark, gruesome, but to me, it's just a perfectly paced film. From beginning to end, it feels like you're going on a journey with Tony Montana. And it's just one of those films to me that has a lot of moments in it that I remember. And even after I stopped watching the film for 2 years, I still remember the film beat by beat. I mean, shit, I stopped watching this film 2 years ago, and I just recently came back to it to do this video, and I remembered every single thing beat by beat. Because the film's that memorable. I tell you right now, as a kid, watching this, it did disturb me. In particular, there's one scene that really fucked me up, and that was the chainsaw scene. A lot of Scarface fans will know this scene really well. It was a scene that was very controversial at the release of this film in 1983, saying the film was very gruesome and violent. And yeah, this scene is pretty fucked up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to show the clip after I explain, but a little short synopsis if you want to skip back past the clip and go back to me talking about the movie. Tony Montana is forced to watch one of his friends being carved up and cut up with a chainsaw. Now, nothing is shown, but the implication is there. You know what's going on, and that makes it even more gruesome. Seeing Tony's eyes in this scene will really haunt you. Like, he's witnessing something fucked up. So, here is the chainsaw scene to the people who want to see it. If you don't, just skip past the scene, and yeah, see you guys after the clip.
Okay? Yeah, mate. When in out. Take him out of here, quick, man. Chichi, ¿qué te quiero? Está bien, Tony. Let go. Get him in. Come on. Come on. Come on, let go. What's it?
So yeah, that scene pretty fucked up, but it's a great scene, and it shows how dark and brutal this movie can get. How even the shootout that happens after that chainsaw scene that I chose to include in this clip, and well, in that clip was fucking brutal. I mean, it was pretty badass, but brutal as hell. That scene just showed that this movie could get dark and brutal, but that was kind of that movie's downfall. It's choosing to be very dark. See, critics panned Scarface at release for being too brutal, too dark, too violent. And I think it's mainly because, because people did the same thing for Texas Chainsaw Massacre when it came out. They panned it for being violent as hell, even though nothing was really shown in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Nothing was shown in this scene. It was implied that it happened. You saw it, you heard it, you heard the screams, you heard the chainsaw, but you mainly saw Tony's face. You saw his face reacting to that moment. And that alone is still pretty fucking dark, because you see the fucking fear and terror in his eyes as he's watching his friend being carved up by a chainsaw. It's a shame this movie got panned by critics, but I'm so happy to see it gain this following. Years later, people are considering one of the most influential films of the 80s, sorry. And with good reason. It's a great film, and, that scene alone is just a fucking amazing scene. It's the perfect amount of dark and fucked up, but it doesn't need to show the gore for it to be that. It's a good example of, you don't have to show the violence to make it a fucked up scene. All you need to do is have someone reacting to it or hear the noises, and that's enough. And I think that scene did that well. But this film is not only known for its memorable moments, it's also known for its memorable dialogue. People still quote Scarface to this day. Say hello to my little friend. This town's a great big pussy waiting to get fucked. Say goodnight to the bad guy. I killed those cockroaches. No, that's just a few examples of the memorable lines in this movie. And that's all thanks to Oliver Stone's writing. My God, is his writing in this film so perfect. Especially for the character of Tony Montana. I mean, he took us on a journey with this character. From beginning to end, you got to see the rise and downfall of Tony Montana. And it's done so well. It is perfectly paced. And that's also with the help of Brian De Palma, the director of the film. But it's mainly due to the writing. The writing is so damn good. And if you're a fan of Scarface, or if you've ever seen Scarface, you know what I mean. The film is so well written. I mean, yes, it's full of fucking language and shit, but it's all done so well. One of my favorite scenes in movie history is in this film, and that's the say goodnight to the bad guy scene. My God, the way Pacino acted in that scene. And yeah, that's another thing. Pacino knocked it out of the park with this role. I don't think there's ever been a role that's topped his Tony Montana role. So I don't think there's ever been a role to top it. I think Jimmy Hoffa was like, nah, it wasn't. None of his performances to me were ever close to Tony Montana. As I loved him in The Irishman as Jimmy Hoffa. I loved his other roles, except for Jack and Jill, which we don't need to talk about. I just feel like he hasn't really topped that role ever. Like, that's, to me, his best role that he's ever done. But due to Oliver Stone's writing and Pacino's acting, the say goodnight to the bad guy scene has become one of the most, referenced and most, talked about scenes from Scarface. And it's due to the acting and writing. And I'm going to show you guys the say goodnight to the bad guy scene. So, here it is. I love that scene. I always referenced that scene as a kid as well. I would always go, like, every time I would leave class or leave school, I'd always go, say goodnight to the bad guy. And I would always get in trouble for quoting Scarface in school, even as a little kid, I'd always get in trouble. Mom got on me for that stuff too. But yeah, as you can tell with this video, I love Scarface. Everything about it to me is amazing. From its writing to its directing to its acting to its, hell, even its cinematography. It's all really well done. It's, to me, a perfect film. I loved everything about it. Even the ending. This is where we're going to get into spoilers. So, if you have not seen the movie, click off now. If you want to watch it, go watch it. Come back to this video and hear me talk about why I love the ending so much. If you have seen the movie, hi. And if you're just here to watch this video because you're a fan of my channel, hi. But we're gonna be talking about the ending to Scarface and why I think it's a perfect ending, a perfect fitting end to this movie. And I'm gonna go into great detail and even show the ending to the movie. So yeah. So after killing his best friend and killing his sister, Tony notices on the TV monitors that people are intruding on his mansion, grabs his assault rifle with a grenade launcher attachment, notices people crowding around his office door, says the famous line, "Say hello to my little friend," blows the door off, kills everyone behind it, and has a massive shootout in his mansion, taking the final stand. And I think this alone is perfect for Tony. This end is perfect for Tony. How he took everyone out with him as he went down was so fucking perfect. He's sitting up there shooting at people, taking bullets left and fucking right, screaming profanities at them as he's killing them. It's just perfect for him. It's perfect. Tony in this movie never went down without a fight. He always got himself back up and kept going, and this is perfect for his character. But he gets killed. He gets shot in the back by a guy with a double-barrel shotgun. And the way they did this moment is so great, which you'll see in the clip at the end of this video. The way they did this scene is so perfect. You see Tony just yelling at them as everyone stops shooting because they notice the guy coming up behind him. He starts screaming at him, screaming profanities at him. The guy lifts up his shotgun, shoots Tony in the back. Tony falls into the water in his little mini pool down below, where his giant statue that says "The world is yours" is just sitting there. And as the camera pans out, you see everyone in his mansion look as Tony's body is floating in the water as the water slowly turns red with his blood. I think this alone is a perfect end for Tony. He never went down without a fight. And the fact that that's the way they ended him was that he was taking people out with them, eating bullets left and right. I think that's perfect for him. It's a really good end to Tony's character. And normally, because I loved his character, I would be pissed. But no, I was happy because it's just a perfect way for him to go out. It really is. This scene alone, it's just a perfect conclusion. It's a perfect end to the journey that Oliver Stone and Brian De Palma have created for this character. After he hit his lowest of the lows, he finally dies. Which is a great ending. I just love this scene. It's so badass. You see Tony Montana just shoot people with his assault rifle. It's such a badass ending. And it's a fulfilling conclusion to this movie that he dies. After everyone he cares about, exception of his mother, his sister and his best friend died. People that he cared about died. Him doing horrible things. It's fitting that he went out the way he did. And I just love the ending. And I just love this movie. So, here's the ending of the film, the final shootout, and then I'm going to do my conclusion afterwards. Like I said, badass fucking scene. But I love Scarface. Scarface is my favorite film of all time for a reason. I hope I explained enough to show why I love this movie so much. It's such a fucking great film in terms of its writing, directing, acting, and cinematography. It's such a well done film. To me, it's perfect. I really don't want them to remake. I know there's rumors going around that they're trying to remake Scarface. Don't. No one can play Tony Montana better than Al Pacino. No one can play these characters better than their respective actors and actresses. It's just such a perfect film. And it's a film that I'll always go back to and rewatch over and over again because it's a movie I don't get bored with. I love Scarface. And I hope you guys do too. I hope this video helped you guys say, you know what, I'm going to go watch that movie now because your video. But I love Scarface. I'm glad I got to talk about it finally. It's been a long time coming. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in my Cornetto Trilogy review video. Later.